What's going on, hockey fans? Welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Coyotes today. Arizona Coyote fans, let me just be the first, or not the first. There's many people saying it, but I just want to say I am completely and utterly heartbroken for you guys. I know what if my team was ripped from my hometown, I would be devastated. I'm sure a lot of you guys are. It's kind of happened to me a little bit. I'm an Oakland A's fan, so seeing the A's leave, seeing the Raiders leave in the last couple of years has been like, pulling on the heartstrings a little bit. I'm not a diehard A's fan. I do like the Raiders, so seeing the Raiders leave was pretty heartbreaking. So I can kind of sympathize with you guys. I can only imagine if the Sharks were moved to a different town, different city, different state, I would be completely I don't know. I'd be completely shattered. I don't even know who I would even root for at that point. Maybe Seattle, because Seattle's the closest team to me anyways. But moving on from that, I'm completely sorry for you guys, and I don't know if you're gonna root for the Utah, whatever the hell they're gonna be called or not, but it just sucks all the way around. It sucks, and I completely feel for you guys. I've been watching, and I've actually been listening to like a lot of talk shows this past week about this whole situation. Not just this week. It's been an ongoing situation for I don't know, like almost 2 years now since the Coyotes moved into ASU's arena, but. It's steam and traction has picked up this past week about what's going on, or even last week about what was going to go on. Everyone knows about this auction for this land that they're trying to bid and win on, but that has some time limits to it. Professional players aren't going to want to keep playing in the ASU's arena. It's just not up to standards, professional standards anyways, like the guest locker room. I'm not sure. The last time I saw, they had like black curtains around the place. It wasn't even a room. It was just like an empty space. It is kind of like, what it kind of isn't. It is a black eye to the league to have a professional team, one of their professional teams, playing in a situation like they are currently right now. So the hopes of getting that arena was very high. I'm assuming it's still pretty high from the current owner. A couple like documents came out, I think yesterday, about all the letters he wrote to the mayors trying to basically help him win the land to build this arena. Now who knows if that was really true or not? Like if he's just if he's putting on a front or not. I don't know. It feels kind of weird, and it feels really fishy if you've been paying attention to the league this past week about what's going on. So it just felt really weird. It felt really quick. Everyone was talking about this auction that's going to happen in June, which again, it's a couple months away. But the contingency plan was, we didn't really know what it was. It kind of felt like if they did win it, they wouldn't be playing until like 27, 28, year 2027 or 2028 after the arena has been built. So that puts us like 4 years out from now. Basically, NHL players would have to keep playing in a college arena, and that's just not going to work for the NHL. So along comes Ryan Smith. Now, if you haven't paid attention to this and what's going on, Ryan Smith basically has been kind of campaigning for the last 2 years, saying that he's wanting an expansion team in Salt Lake City. Ryan Smith, he's a billionaire. For one, you got to have money to own an NHL team or buy an NHL team these days. He owns the Utah Jazz, the soccer team that's in Utah. I don't know MLS. I don't know what team it is, but he's got deep pockets and he's got ambition to bring an NHL team to Utah or Salt Lake City. So he's been kind of campaigning to get one. And then the NHL has been talking about expansion. It seems like they've been talking about expansion. We've heard rumblings of they want to bring Atlanta back for like the third time, potentially Houston. We've heard about Salt Lake for a little bit, so we weren't really too sure about where they're going to go. I'm always going to throw Quebec out there. Quebec seems like they always and will always want a team. I don't know why the NHL doesn't make it work out there, but I don't know. That's a topic for another time. So there's always been talks about expansion in these areas, and with the Coyote situation going on, it's always been like, okay, if they can't make this work in Phoenix or Arizona, where are they going to go? So with the timing of everything happening, it just kind of seemed that Ryan Smith kind of stepped up to the plate. Now, he made some noise this past weekend, or was it past Monday? He put a tweet out saying, if there was a team that were to come to Salt Lake, what would the team name be? and everyone's like, well, this is kind of weird timing. Why the hell would you put that out right now? There's some funny responses in there. We all know that Utah is like the Mormon state, or it is, I guess. So there's all kinds of funny joke names in there. I'm sure you've seen on Reddit or you've seen everywhere else, but there's just constant like jokes being put at this. But honestly, I think this could work pretty damn well. Now it's pretty well for me because Utah's not too far from me. I can go another place to go see my team play another arena. But it seems like, from everything I've heard and everything I've seen about Salt Lake and the development, like it's a younger town. There's a lot of money there. They keep trying to bring a lot more professional sports there. There's even talks about bringing professional baseball there. So it's a growing area that's, kind of like in the Midwest to there. I don't know the geography, but I'm assuming it's the Midwest a little bit more than, obviously Arizona. But it's a growing market, and I think it's, me personally, I've been to Salt Lake a couple times just for like a quick stint, and I always imagined like this would be a dope place to have a hockey team. You got the mountains all around there. There's like, the religious thing going on. That's always the joke. It's going to be there, but that I really don't pay attention to that very much at all. But I think it's a really good market, to be in. I think the NHL needs to be in. Now, what does that mean for the Coyotes? That means we've heard that the Coyotes are going to sell the team to the NHL for a said price. The NHL is going to take that and then sell it to Ryan Smith. And there's going to be the proceeds are going to be divided up between the owners. And then the option for the ownership of the Coyotes right now, I'm assuming will retain the trademarks. I don't know if they're doing that or not, but there's also talks that they might have pretty much first dibs on bringing a team back to Arizona. Now, if they win this land, does that mean they're going to bring a team back? I would sure as hell hope so, at least for you Arizona fans. But that would put the league at 33 teams, which would mean there would be kind of not really an equal divide in the league. So expansion is still a very real possibility in Houston, Atlanta. I want to say Quebec, but NHL is really not making that kind of commitment right now. I think Atlanta might work really well. You can go and do your research and listen to whatever podcast it is that they've talked about Atlanta a lot. So could it work? I don't know. Houston, who knows? But yeah, I think Salt Lake has been probably NHL's first choice. I feel like in my eyes, there's been a lot of talk about it like over the past year or so. I've heard more about that than I have Atlanta or Houston. So that's just my opinion on it. So now what's really interesting to me about this whole situation is we just had Vegas come into the league a couple years ago. They've already won their cup. We know. I definitely know that. Seattle came into the league a couple years ago, and they've done pretty good. So the appeal of an expansion team to people who want an NHL team has been way more appealing now than it has been like it was in the 90s. And that's mostly because of, one, the league, the players in the league are way better. The draft rules are way better. Teams aren't coming into the league, or new teams aren't coming into the league right now with having just kind of like a shit roster pretty much. They're getting competitive teams due to the expansion draft rules. So this is kind of where the question for me is kind of like it's been in my head for the last couple of days hearing about Arizona moving and Ryan Smith saying he wants an expansion team. And to me, it's kind of odd, one, that he's going to take over or buy the Arizona Coyotes because Arizona hasn't been great. Now, they do have some high prospects in there. They do have some cap space they're going to be able to spend with. But, for a new owner of a new NHL team, I would want a whole new franchise. I wouldn't want to have to take someone's franchise, or not take, but buy someone's franchise and then try to create something on my own with the current roster, the current, contracts and stuff we have to deal with. Granted, that is an advantage in not having to start from square one. But if you look at the last two teams that were expansion teams and look at their success dwarfs Arizona's, if you want to call it success, in the last couple of years. One, they've done that through drafting. Vegas has been very creative with their contract signings. look at their current cap space situation right now. Seattle I literally just came from Seattle like last weekend or the weekend before. Went to a Kraken game out there. That video will be out pretty soon. And that hockey market's booming like crazy right now too. So to take basically, a market or a team, a franchise from Arizona that hasn't been doing so well and bringing them to Utah, to me it's kind of like buying a used car, buying a used Mercedes. Like, it's a good car, it's got a lot of miles on it, but you're buying a used one. Why not just wait a little bit and then buy a brand new one? That's kind of how my feeling is on this whole situation. I just don't know what the appeal is. I mean, granted, he doesn't have to wait. From what I understand, a lot of owners in the NHL have been campaigning for Ryan Smith. He does great business from my understanding. So he's got deep pockets. So, and he wants it, and they have an arena that they can outfit for an NHL team. So I get that aspect of it. For me personally, I would rather just have a brand new franchise. Start off right. But to each their own. It is what it is. So now the other thing that's been like rallying my brain this past week is, if Alex Morel does sell the team to the NHL, which it looks like he's going to do, and they grant him the copyright or the trademark to the team, the Arizona Coyotes or the Phoenix Coyotes, what is the team name going to be in Utah? Now, if you look at the women's hockey league, the women's professional hockey league, they don't have team names at all, right? I don't think the NHL is going to go that route and not have a team name whatsoever. But it does take time to, one, learn your market, build a team identity around that area, and that takes time. It's going to take the PWHL until I think next year when they're going to have team names. And they already have the colors, but they don't have team names, they don't have logos, none of that stuff. Is that going to be the situation for Salt Lake or for Utah, whatever it's going to be? Are they going to be able to use the trademark of the Coyotes in Utah or Salt Lake? Or are they going to have a whole new team come puck drop next October? That's very interesting to me. The NHL is not going to let a new owner, just pick a name out of a hat and be like, here it is. No, the jersey's got to look good on TV. The color's got to look good on TV. It's got to do well with the area. It's got, there's all this stuff that has to go with branding when you buy a team in the NHL. So are they going to be able to keep the Coyotes name? Who knows? I'm sure there's going to be some paperwork or some legal paperwork in there that's going to let them do it or not. Everyone's talking about the Utah Yotes. That rolls off the tongue pretty well, but is that like, again, do you want the identity of an old hockey team in your new hockey town? So for me, that's an automatic no. I'd want something different. How long the team name process is going to go, who knows? Again, they're going to be busy as hell if they do get this team and they do want to change the name. What colors they're going to pick, that's going to be very interesting. I mean, there's just a lot that goes into this as far as building a new team. So I'm really curious to know what the team name is going to be, and if it is the Coyotes, are they keeping the same colors? Are they going to be the Coyotes for a year and then they're going to go to something different with the rebranding? I don't know. I feel like this whole thing is being rushed, and I understand why it's being rushed, but I feel like this should have been a decision that was made maybe a couple months ago, maybe at the start of the new year. At least give the Arizona Coyote fans a good farewell tour. Not this last week of the season type of deal. Now this hasn't even been announced yet. Now everyone's speculating it's going to be announced the last game of the year. So if you look at the prices for Mullet Arena right now, all the tickets are sky high, and it's just like everyone wants to get their last fix of professional hockey in the desert before it goes, and who knows when it's going to come back. Hopefully it comes back relatively soon. But, that's going to take some time. And if they do come back, are they going to be the Coyotes? What are they going to be? Who knows? So, yeah, man, that's just my opinion on it. There's the two big questions I just really wanted to know. I want to know what you guys are feeling on it. One, are they the Coyotes? Are they something different? And, should he have waited for an expansion team, or should he just be happy with what he gets? Now, you heard my opinion. Personally, I want something brand new, and I don't know what the hell they're going to do with the team name. So let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments. Coyotes fans, again, I am super sorry you guys are losing your team. it sucks all the way around. Like, I know hockey is what brings a lot of people together. It's brought me and my family together in the past, and it's why I'm such a passionate hockey fan now. So if you're losing that bonding experience with friends, family, whatever it may be, I'm super sorry you're losing that. But we'll have to see, and we'll hope and pray that Arizona comes back to the desert, because they're producing some top-notch hockey players down there, and I would love to go back down to Phoenix and see a professional game. So talk to you guys later. Peace.